Hello there, welcome to today's Daily Dominion. Oh, it's an intrigue board. And we have Swindler, though we do have a little bit of mitigating in Lurker. So Swindler is an attack which trashes the top card of their deck. Lets you swap it out with something that costs the same. It can be pretty frustrating to play against for some. But anyway, we have things here that can more or less counter it. So we're gonna try to get Trash down and have a lot of Wishing Wells and maybe some Nobles and at least a couple Lurkers. It's a little rough. The draw here is not very good. And Swindler can make the piles go quite quickly. Which can lead to a situation where the bot has a bit of a points lead. Anyway, what I'm going to open here is Ironworks Swindler. Ironworks lets you gain other cards. There's a little synergy here between Ironworks and Mill, because when you play in Ironworks to gain a Mill, you get +1 card and +1 action, because Mill is an action and a victory card. That's usually on intrigue boards a pretty good thing. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily go for it every time, but you would go for it pretty often. Hopefully we get to... So what does the bot have? The bot has a 5/2, but didn't take a Lurker. Okay. So the bot has got a Courier, which to me indicates basically that they'll just get a lot of golds. Tends to be what they do. We don't get a good Swindler hit, so we miss $5 on this turn, which is unfortunate. I'm going to name a state here. So there's a little thing with Wishing Well naming. Typically at the start, you're just always naming either copper or a state. At this point in my deck, it's not too hard. There's 3 of each, because we have 4 coppers. But there are times when you would name it even if it was the least number, depending on what you wanted to do or what would help you the most to pull out of the next shuffle. So we had a Mill on top, but this is actually pretty okay. So we're going to get a upgrade here. The Mill being paired with the Estates is just fine. So the bot is already promising. I would like to hit 5 again, so I'm going to try, even though there wasn't... It was like a... Well, at that point, there was like a 2/3 chance of getting to 5, which would have been helpful. I'm not sure how fast this... So, like, now we name copper, just because there's more of it, and also it's useful to pull it out of the deck. We still name copper here. One thing that's nice here is we don't... If the game lasts long enough, we can win no matter what because of Duke. Duke is just a lot of points if the game goes a long time and we can build up. The question is really just, will the piles run before that's an issue for us? That's not too bad of a hit. We could have gotten more use out of the Ironworks, but Ironworks to Mill. Ironworks to either of the 4s would have been perfectly okay here. So I'm not going to trigger the shuffle, I don't think. We can either just replace the Ironworks, which I'm not sure about, because I don't actually want to just play it and gain mills over and over again, because I don't want the piles to just fly. So I'm thinking about just another Wishing Well. Though I think obviously the Ironworks can be used to gain the other stuff as well. At this point, I'm going to focus on playing my upgrades more often here to try and trash a little bit faster. So this is not so far great. Okay. Pretty bad. Normally it would be like a pretty good shuffle, right? I have all of my good cards at the top. See, this is also a problem with the Swindler. The Swindler hits a province, and so that just shortens the game, which is terrible for me. See, the problem now here is we have like a lot of junk in here, so these next couple turns are probably pretty bad. Did the bot just replace my Ironworks with an Ironworks, or did I buy one when I was talking about it? They must have actually just given me one. I thought they gave me a mill for some reason, but that must have been their gain. I'm not really sure what's left. And the only good thing right now for us is that the point thing hasn't actually gotten too out of hand. Okay, we'll have 5 no matter what. Again, we're not going to trigger. Actually, this would be an okay shuffle to trigger. I take that back. So I'm not going to discard with mill. Instead, I'm going to add another Wishing Well into this shuffle. Maybe I'll add another mill into this shuffle. Okay. So there's actually not a lot of junk in here. There's probably more like Wishing Wells than anything. Doesn't mean that's the correct wish, but it's certainly a reasonable kind of wish. You trash 1 copper, so there's still a couple of coppers in here. I'm going to name one now just because it's on my, see, I thought about naming upgrade, but the thing is, like, if it had been a copper on top, we would have pulled it out and drawn the upgrade with the mill. And if it's upgrade on top, we get to draw the mill regardless, or draw the upgrade regardless. And so it does potentially lower your output a little bit with that guess, but it does raise the floor of how bad your turn can be by a little bit. So I think we've just about gotten, yeah, so we've got the estates cleaned out. So now the deck is really a lot of Wishing Wells. There aren't any in the trash, so we have all the Wishing Wells. 4, 5, 6. So there's 2 Wishing Wells, an upgrade, and, well, not 2 Wishing Wells, but 1 Wishing Well, an upgrade, and, well, some more copper. So let's go ahead and do copper because, like I said, if it's not copper on top, then you draw whatever you're looking for anyway. I'm seriously considering losing the Swindler here, just because playing it I think is like pretty bad for me. I just really don't want to hit province again. It's funny, there's only 1 province in the deck, so it would be pretty unlikely, and other hits are fine for me. So I think we're going to do Wishing Well. We know this last card is a Wishing Well. We don't want to draw it. We just want to top deck it. So we're going to name Curse. That just means there's a Wishing Well on top. See, this is actually quite nice. So we hit their Swindler, so they don't have a Swindler now. That's very helpful to us. And now I'm going to get a Courtier, because I'm about good on draw, at least for the moment. And, yeah, the wishes still are, there's still quite a few coppers, so I'm going to still name Copper. At some point, we may switch to Wishing Wells. I mean, I played like, well, I had at least 5 coppers in my hand, I think, 5 or 6, so. There are more Wishing Wells. Well, no, I think there's about the same. We can play, we don't want to play every mill because it doesn't really help us, but also we would like to reveal it to, well, we have other dual time. We have this Swindler as well, so it's not really a big deal, but this is a little bit of a tedious board to play due to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's still one more. And there's a copper. I guess it's the same thing. We need to name the copper because if it's the well, we can just pull it out. We're gonna buy a. Oh, it's an upgrade, isn't it? Okay. I think I'm gonna lose the Swindler here because this is just too much. I don't know if buy gets us anything now. We don't really need the money. What did I Ironworks for? Oh, another mill. Well, that's okay. I guess we can take the money. We don't really need any of it. I don't want a gold right now. Maybe I do. This is the point where we're going to switch to buying nobles. But it's pretty hard to pick up multiple nobles in a turn. Let's just go with that. We can get a little money, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna lose the Swindler now because just seems pretty bad. What is in here, like a mill or something? Copper? Yeah, I knew that, but it didn't matter. Okay, so we're gonna buy nobles here. The nobles are gonna be a little slow. This is, yeah, unfortunately they're gonna contest us. This is gonna be the little bit tricky part of this game because the wishing isn't actually gonna hit all that often. We may get 2 or 3 hits a turn for lucky. This is, we have another mill. There's all the mill. Yeah, I should have been naming copper. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take the last mill even though it feels pretty risky. 1, 2, 3, 6. So it's like nobles, wells. Yeah. That's okay. I think it's 2 wells, so we'll just leave it and buy another nobles. I may take a gold now. We can go to... I mean, we can get quite a bit of money here. And maybe worth doing. I said I wasn't going to trigger, but I changed my mind. We'll just leave the mill, I guess. We get to 9. This is definitely going to be a little scary because I am going to lower. So we're going to have to... we're going to have to figure out a way to score pretty quickly here. Because we can't just do the nobles forever and ever. If we can get these coppers gone, it'll help. We can start using upgrade to gain duchies and stuff. The real worry here is just that the draw won't keep going. So far, this has been quite lucky on the wells. So that's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's only one more wishing well in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So we're not gonna name that at this point. I don't know what I mean. I guess it's mills or the thing to name now. But this is the thing I was talking about. Is basically the there aren't that many mills either. I can play the conspirator. Well, now it's like 50-50 well and something else. Okay. You can do some stuff like this at the end to get money off your mills, which is pretty okay. I should have got a gold probably. I don't even think province helps us much right now. This is gonna be not great. All we added there was like a conspirator. We even drew, well, we did trash. I guess that was the upside. Okay, they just get a duchy. That gives us a little bit of hope. Maybe. We continue to get pretty lucky with the wishing wells. Now, obviously, we didn't have any in hand there, so this is still unlikely to have hit all of these as wishes. There's 3 in there. I mean, that's still probably the most. This is just like super lucky, like stupid super lucky. If we can overdraw here, we can get a couple duchies. Now I don't think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. I mean, there's still not necessarily a better wish. I don't know what the mill count is exactly. That's okay. We're just gonna get impossibly lucky. I'm gonna use the nobles for a draw here. There's still like a conspirator in here, I think. Okay. Yeah, there was the province. Yeah, the unfortunate thing we only have the 1 ironworks right now, so we can't really do multiples of this. I don't know if we'll actually get enough where this is of any value to us, but the money is surely we don't care about. already have that. No. We could upgrade the upgrade into a nobles, but then we lose one of the upgrades, which I think we would rather have. We could upgrade a mill here. Maybe worth it. We're a little bit tight on the points, so this actually went really well, though we also hit every single wish, which was incredibly unlikely. Still don't like, I think here I feel more comfortable with the point situation now. They may province here, but that's okay. We're not gonna double, I don't think. That seems pretty hard. I mean, I guess we could double with a really lucky draw, and if we can, then I guess we'll do it. But yeah, already the draws here are looking quite a bit different. But we can do the thing I got these for, which at least will make us feel a little better about points. It gives us something that we can compete with, even if we just, even if we're just in a spot to compete on dukes or just empty the duchies and the wishing wells. It makes our chances a lot nicer. What do we got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 2 more wishing wells. We could draw up here. I should know what the last card is, but I frankly don't. So I can do this instead and just make them all be duchies, and then it's easy. I didn't really check for whether we could get enough money to get to... No, there's no way. Anyway, we can get by again. This is a kind of funny use of the courier, just a courtier as just a plus action buy thing, but it's not typically it's not necessarily what you want, but okay. So we can get to 6 duchies here. I'm not going to empty them because, or I'm not going to take 2 actually, because I think that exposes a, I guess it's only a tie. I mean, there's no way they're doing more than just, but anyway, we can go duchy, duke, and then the duke scores quite a lot for us. So now to win here, all we need to do is get duchy and wishing well, which should be doable. We should, so the name now will be duchy since it's the stop card we have a bunch of copies of. Now obviously you can still name the wishing well. Okay, we hit the duke. Alright, so far not very good. This is okay though. I'm not gonna play the conspirator yet, because if we find an upgrade then it's just over. So there we go. And even we can go for getting a duke just for the fun of it, as long as we have the money for, so we can do this and then get a duke, and then we'll stop there. But yeah, so I mean, you should be able to win pretty consistently playing something like this. Though there are definitely a couple turns where my wishing was above average, and that can make a big difference. The thing is that you can see my deck looked pretty bad for a while, but because of upgrade and ironworks, there was a window where it was really easy to add duchies. And once we did that, we were close on points. And then we had a way of scoring points in Duke, which was much easier than the bot's way of scoring points in Province. And eventually maybe it was even going to be worth more. We could have gotten to, or at least worth as much. We could have got, well, we did get to 6 duchies, right? So, that's the advantage there of playing for the longer game. I do think some people's AIs probably end up with, well, okay, one of the big things that helped me was the Swindler hit. When I trash their Swindler, that changes the dynamic quite a bit because they can't, it means a game can't get rushed down by them lowering piles on me quite as easily. So like overall, my Swindler hits were really good too. I guess I'm saying is I had pretty good luck, and it was kind of close-ish. It's not clear how close it was because they weren't actually, I mean, I didn't have to go for the duchies or lower the duchies that much yet. I could have been taking dukes instead as well. I just lowered them because I was in a position to pile out and win. But the game could have lasted probably a few more turns, which I think would have been enough for me, even if the luck's a little worse. But in any case, a hard board to draw on, sort of hard board to draw on, but it has some nice little payload stuff with the Ironworks and the upgrade if you take the time to do it. Actually, my worst luck of the game was just that I didn't hit 5 on my first shuffle, which wasn't guaranteed or anything, but that was unfortunate and slowed me down a little bit. But anyway, I think an interesting intrigue board. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Oh, I gotta do the thing.